Alright, welcome back to another episode of ADHD and Crochet. As you can see here, I am a little more prepared. I have a couple extra boxes, one for my pins, one for my stitch markers, and I actually have my snippers this time. As you can see, Vacation Brain took over last video, and we are back. It is the same day as last time for me, but it is a different day and a different week for you guys. So we are continuing on our little sea slug here. We only got 4 rows in, and we've got like 5 more to go at least. Let's get into it. I still don't know where that other pin went, or was supposed to go, so it's just going to sit there until I need it. And if I end up not needing it, it'll go in the box with all of its friends. We are going to go ahead and get this on the correct side here. I still don't have any fun, cool facts about these little things other than the fact that they're called nudibranches. That is their term. That is the term for sea slugs. There are quite a few different species of nudibranch. There's this little guy. There's a yellow, white, and red one that I plan to make. He came in the same pattern set as this one. There's also one of my favorites, which is a blue one. Fun fact, my favorite colors are blue and purple. Sorry, had to yawn. It is getting a little toasty in this room, but 1 hour in here won't kill me. Technically be the second hour in here, but that's not the point. Alright, we are getting into a weird section here in the middle where it is hard to keep the previous and the future rows from getting in the way of the current row, but we're going to try our best here. Now, I know for a fact we will get through this project on this video, but I don't know if we will have time for the next one. These little knots are kind of ensuring that I get through my current video at a slower pace. It did take me like 40 minutes to get to the 5th row of these petals in the last video. So who knows? Who knows? Not even through the 5th row, just to it. But this little knot is making sure that it takes up its screen time. Now that we've got that out of the way. Decided to wrap around the antenna. Thank you, string, for being a pain this time around. Go and get more prepared, and now my string wants to cause me problems. Just goes to show you that life, you can be as prepared as you want. You will always throw a little stick in the road. We have yet another knot. I do not know how these keep happening, but they do. That's okay. Just gotta untie it very gently. Some say gentle parenting, I say gentle untying. Whatever. Same difference. It's all unruly people. children. Even if they're inanimate objects, they're still unruly children. Now, if everything goes smoothly, we may have a bit of an odd set of videos here where this part is a part 2, but then there's a part 1 of the next project, which I assume will take a little bit of time to sew together and finish up. But I probably won't do 3 recordings in one day. That just seems like a bit much on me. And Bean over here is going to put her tail where it probably shouldn't be, which is directly on top of a box of sharp objects. Because she is special and she almost never has the brain cell that gets shared within my household. I've come to the determination that the brain cell, that there is a single brain cell that gets bounced around the household, and usually me or my husband has it. Every now and then a cat has it for like 2 seconds to do something incredibly clever, and then go right back to being their goofy selves. The standard of excellence in this house is rather low. All right. Tip time. As you might imagine, my coffee is now cold. For you guys, I've been sipping on this coffee for 2 weeks. How horrible would that be? 2-week-old coffee that's just milk and instant coffee? Gross. But, yeah, it's only been a couple hours. Which is probably still not great, but it still tastes fine. Oh, I stabbed myself again. This project is dangerous for me to work on, not having the brain cell, as I keep getting poked. Not enough to bleed, which is good. I will not be adding any red spots to this light-colored project. We're almost up the front. I think we are at the longest rows. These rows contain, I want to say, like 4 to 5 petals on them. And then as we get towards either end of the new branch, the sea slug, the number of petals goes down to like 3 and 2, depending on which row you're on. The body underneath all of this expands and contracts as well. There, we are at the widest part. I still don't know where that orange pin came out from, but I guess I don't need it. If I do, it's not like I don't have a box of pins right there, but I'm still not going to put it away. It's just going to sit there, be a potential threat. These petals are bothering me. I'm going to try to make them behave. I say try because they won't. And it's okay. Say everything's okay, and then I get a little knot. And this one, of course, doesn't want to be a simple fix. It wants to be a pain. I guess my string is as tired of this project as it can be, as it's throwing a tantrum like a 4-year-old. And my nails aren't quite long enough to take care of it. And if you heard any crinkling noises that the mic may or may not have picked up, that was Bean getting into the closet and being as ungraceful as physically possible with a waterproof bag that's in there. I think she was trying to get into it and was slipping off of it, and she's not very bright, so she failed miserably. It was loud for me, but I don't know what this little mic can pick up. So if you heard it, I'm sorry if it was obnoxious. But I'm pretty sure the highlights of these videos are when the cats do things. Anyways. Or maybe the highlight of these videos is the finished products that I have. Which I will post these guys on my Instagram as well. Because they will be available for purchase. I will be selling a lot of my things on OfferUp to try and get rid of them so that I can move a little more simply with less to pack, because I am planning on moving in the next couple months. So anything that may be ordered will be made to order. I will not just have a backlog of them available. And some of the things that are currently on my Instagram will probably be removed from my Instagram once they sell, because they were a one-time limited item. So. Fun times. We are ever so slowly making our way up. I say ever so slowly, it's only been 15 minutes of this video, but it was 40 minutes of the last video, or a little bit less than that. 35 probably. Not the point. My ADHD really just wants the instant gratification of this being finished, but we have to work for it, and that's okay. Okay to work for your projects. Work for your gratification. And that's a learned thing that my ADHD will not ever want to cooperate with. We're gonna make it happen. do these things, you sometimes have to have a certain level of spite to get through it. A certain level of, I started this, so I'm going to finish it. I will get that gratification of finishing the product. Even if it takes me 2 weeks or an entire month to finish. I have a project that is a sea anemone that I cannot work on in public because the little tendrils look inappropriate. And there was no better color option to make them look less inappropriate. They just look like that. And I have to make like 90 of them. And they are not a no-sew project. This is absolutely a sew together project. There's only one part that does not get sewn on, it gets crocheted on, but most of the project is sewn together, and by most of the project I mean all 90 of those little tendrils get sewn on. So that'll probably be a video and a half. And that's just the top part of it, which could be very easily attached to any lower part, so long as you have the dimensions, which is pretty cool. But I don't know when that one will be done. It might be done after I move. I did not change out my microphone in between all of this, so every now and then I have to check to make sure that it's still working. That one decided to be weird and be attached to everything on the next row. Not sure how that happened, but it did. Took a little struggling to get it off. We got it. We got it removed. Now we can continue working on the next thing, and Bean, don't think everybody wants to see you clean yourself. I definitely don't want to hear it. It's so loud and repetitive. I appreciate that cats will take care of their own fur for the most part, but that doesn't mean I want to listen to them doing so for 30 minutes. Have a whole house and they want to do it right next to me, which I understand is like a security thing. And I appreciate that they feel comfortable enough with me to do that. But it does set off my, I don't even know what the term is where the sound bothers you. Put it in the comments for me. But I can only handle so much of them cleaning themselves for an hour before it irks me. One of my cats is so bad about it, so loud, like sucks on her fur, makes slurping noises. It's really kind of gross and annoying. So she definitely gets removed from the premises when she starts. By removed from the premises, I mean like removed from my immediate 10-foot range. I don't kick the cat out of the house or anything. I just remove her from like usually my bed. She likes to do it right as I'm attempting to sleep, which is not going to fly. I like my sleep a little too much. I have a bedtime at 26, and I'm very protective of my bedtime. I don't know how many times I'm going to get poked by this project, but it's a lot. Maybe someone can go through this video and the last one and make a compilation of how many times I get poked. Let me know. I don't know if that'd be fun for you or not. Wouldn't be fun for me. Definitely isn't fun getting poked constantly. But the sharp pins are necessary. Yeah. Sometimes you just have to make weird noises. There's no rhyme or reason to it, really. You have that primal urge to just make a noise. For some people, that's screaming. For me, it's just little weird monkey noises. I don't know how else to describe it, really. The string wants to be part of everything. Ah, I found where that orange pin goes. It goes here. Dab that in there. Alright. We're almost there, and we're almost halfway through. So yeah, looks like this is going to be a part one and a part two, all in one video. So it looks like I am going to actually have enough time to at least get started on the next project once I finish this one. But I probably won't have enough time to finish it without turning things into like an hour and a half. And that's okay. The AC turned on, so I might be able to do it all in one go. Well, all in one day. Definitely not all in one go. But maybe we'll get 2 weeks ahead instead of just one. Won't that be exciting for me? Considering next week is my anniversary with my husband. I definitely won't be recording any videos because I will be very busy. I'll be doing other things with my life. We're actually going to go to a cave. And by next week, I mean the week that this video comes out. Now, is this pin part of this row or the next row? It's this row, so it can go away. Sometimes you have so many pins and things going on that you just can't tell where they belong or where they're coming from, and then you start thinking about Cotton Eye Joe. Sometimes you have to distract the animal. And this may end up being a mistake, but we'll find out. Luckily, we've finished our coffee now, so I don't have to worry about her throwing that to the floor. Instead, she'll throw the stitch marker to the floor and probably is going to lose it in here, and I won't find it until we're moving. And that's okay with me. I've only got 100 of them. Probably more, for being quite honest here. That's fine. And we are now on to our last row of the new branch. And we're about 30 minutes in. So yeah, we're making great time on this time around. And for this one, I'm actually going to hold it flat down and work on the outside of it, just to kind of ensure that it goes the direction that I want it to, since it is this last one. Now, all the other rows have kind of been all over the place as far as their placement, and that's fine. It makes it more realistic in the fact that it's not going to lay down flat. Like, good luck if you try to make it lay down flat. But this last row, I think we can get to cooperate a little bit, just in the way that we hold it while we sew it together. Don't have to worry about things stabbing me as much because there's only one pin and I know where it's at. And my thumb is not on it this time. Unlike the dozens that were in it previously that my thumb absolutely ended up resting on and squeezing. My poor thumb. I no longer need this. And I no longer need this pin either. I have everything exactly where I want it, as though I'm a supervillain, which means something's probably going to go wrong in these last few stitches, but that's okay. We are nearly done. And we actually have our scissors this time, our snippers. My blue scissors had to be retired on vacation because I broke them. I did not break the metal, I just broke the handle, which the handle was a soft plastic and rubber. But I did have to hold a small funeral in my head for my scissors. I'd had them for many years, and they served me quite well. But it's okay, these are a lot harder to break because they are metal. And then in the next, like, 3 videos, you're gonna hear me come back with, yeah, sorry, I broke my snippers that I thought were harder to break because they were metal and I was wrong. It's fine. Alright, so we finished these stitches, so now we're just gonna hide all the strings and snip off the ones that we don't need. Uh, these little guys might be a little more difficult, but we'll see. There's one. See if I can get the second one through. Almost. And there's 2. Beautiful. Pull that through at a diagonal. Get those nice and hidden in there. Now, I don't need these, so we're going to snip them off. Give them to Bean. Okay. Lovely little helper over there. I don't need this one anymore, so we're also going to snip it off and give it to Bean. Don't lose your tiny needle. You kind of need that. And this one, this white string at the beginning here, we're going to thread it through and then snip it off. Bean, sweetie. Please be a lady. Thank you. And play with the strings. I put them there. Anything they are an offering to you, please stop cleaning yourself. At least stop cleaning yourself in my presence. And there we have it. Our little sea slug, who's probably quite venomous. He kind of looks like a feather duster. Alright, on to the next fun one is our Nautilus. He has several parts to him, not as many as you may think, but I am going to take all these pins out and focus on just a few at a time. I don't expect to get them done all in one go in this video. We will just see where we end up, because I do have to sew the spiral of the shell, and then I've got to sew the body in, and then we've got this little top piece here that we'll be sewing together as well. And it's got some weird shapes that need to be sewn together as well. I'm gonna put all the pins that each piece used in the piece so I don't lose them. And just kind of set each piece off to the side. One of these pins does not actually need to come out, and that's that one. Nautilus are fascinating creatures. They have a very old design. They are a type of cephalopod that have been around for a long time. So we are going to do a little bit of needle shaping here on the shell. As you can see, without being pinned into place, it kind of uncurls. So we are going to just sort of make sure it holds its shape and in the way that we want it to. I'm just gonna tighten things up here in this little stitching area and get my thread where I want it to be before attaching it up here. Kind of ensure I get a nice tight curl there. Now we're going to go along the center bit here for each stitch on the inside while Bean spazzes out in the background. Oh, Bean. She must pretend that she is not attacking strings, or else the strings may get maybe onto her. Found a thing recently that said playing with a cat is only like 10% exercise and 9% acting, whereas the stuffed toy the cat needs to believe is entirely afraid for its life. And I kind of feel that. And now my string wants to tie itself in a knot. Quite the knot at that. There we go. Trying to stay on the center is kind of difficult on a rounded thing because you don't really know where the center is. I'm actually going to go in a previous stitch just to help tighten this curl up a little bit more. Now, generally speaking, these creatures are white and brown, or like a pinkish brown. I did not have enough of those colors as my white was taken up by the manta ray last video that we saw last video. and I don't really have the right color in this size yarn. I just kind of used what I have, and I think he turned out pretty good as a semi-realistic Nautilus. If I do another one of these, I'll probably skip the realism and just do like a galaxy pattern on him. So blues and purples and make it look cool. Maybe keep it mostly blue, a blue and purple variegated yarn with some white stripes. I think that'd be cool. While I do a lot of realistic things, um, I like to think I have an imagination of some sort. Nature is just so beautiful as it is. And sometimes so weird as it is. Alright, let's stitch this so it holds itself open a little bit. We've got our spiral made, it's not going anywhere. Now I'm just finishing attaching the top of this opening part of the shell. This here, and that'll help it hold its shape as well. So our next part, once we get this nice and hidden and attached here, we're gonna make our little knot. Our next part is going to be inserting the body and sewing that in place, but before I sew it in place, I'm going to stitch together the funnel and shape that a little bit. Snip, snip, add to the pile. I'm going to set this little guy off to the side for a minute. So now we're going to take this and we're going to stitch that little section up here. I'm just going to stitch around my little pin here, and we'll pull it out at the end. These stitches don't need to be super tight, because this little funnel is going to have a unique shape anyways. And this is taking a little less time than I expected it to, which is not always a bad thing. But I might be able to finish this in one video. Alright, we're going to go ahead and make our little knot. And hide our yarn. This one is made by the same person who made the nudibranch pattern. I will, of course, include that person, but I don't really have to include more than one name this time around. Now that we've got that done, I forgot to close that hole, but it doesn't really matter all that much. Because that hole gets inserted into the shell. So we're just going to hide that string, put it where I need it to be. And then we're going to place the body where it needs to go. Now, this kind of has this sort of placement. We're going to pin accordingly. Then we're going to move our string accordingly. Just kind of catch the outer edge there. And just start stitching all the way down and across. And I just poked myself again with the pins, but it's fine. Everything is fine. And we're getting to where the funnel is. I'm actually going to sew through the bottom part of the funnel, just to sort of make sure it fits where I want it to. Now I'm sure a real Nautilus has the funnel as a little flap that it can contract as needed, but this is a stuffed animal. I don't want it to curl in a weird position. So I did sew it closed. The little guy is already going to get flattened repeatedly. Okay. We're coming back up on the top here. And I'm probably just going to sew things kind of flat in here. And I need to do some needle shaping and stuffing shaping anyways when I get to that top part. Make it lay how it's supposed to. And that's fine. I'm actually probably going to add some more stuffing in here before I close this up, just so it keeps its shape properly. I actually may do that in the next video, because we are almost at our time. I might end this one a little bit early. We'll see. I probably actually want to stop sewing there so that I have access to the inside a little bit, so I can fill this out properly. Got a little bit of stuffing here. And we're just going to add it to the shell, that inside there, just so everything sits where I want it to. It's all going to be closed up anyways. It's just a matter of pushing it where it needs to go. Take another pin, kind of there. That way when that piece goes on, it has a better place to sit. What I'll probably do is sew this down. But we are going to stop there for right now. I'll do some more shaping in the next video, I think, and finish this little guy out. But if you enjoyed the video, go ahead and hit that like button. If you want to see more, go ahead and subscribe. And I will see you guys in the next one.